to people slamming on the brakes and stuff like that out in the middle of traffic, which is really quite dangerous for everybody. And I'm loaded down right now, so see everybody's past me. I've got to go a bit slower because it takes my brakes longer to set in and stop the truck completely. A lot of people don't understand that if I'm driving this heavy vehicle down the road, I just can't come to a standstill. Which thankfully never happens, but again, in city traffic, it's always different. I did my CDL training with a guy who had actually ran over a woman in his truck and she had passed away, and so he had did a stint of like 10 years in jail. And there were some other things involved, and he was going through, getting his CDL too, and he already knew how to drive. And so he had to do all that over again. And had just gotten out of prison actually. And I think he ended up going and hauling saltwater, which I did that for a few weeks after I got my CDL. When I went to haul saltwater, we learned a lot about the vacuum trucks and the pneumatic trucks. And when I hauled cement, learned a lot about the pneumatic trucks then as well. So you've got a whole bunch of switches and knobs and all sorts of stuff to remember. Every truck's different. But once you get the hang of it after a couple of days, it's pretty easy. I'm in a 13 speed right now. So it's got the high and low gears to it. And it's got the bed that lifts up and everything. And I can haul up to 60,000, 65,000, probably more in this truck, but legally, that's what I haul. Getting down the road is one thing, but when you get to the job site, you just never know what you're going to see or what to expect because everything's always moving all the time. So it's construction, and you can't just expect to, go to the same spot and do the same thing every single load. Also, you have to kind of watch these trucks. We're always on soft ground at the construction sites and stuff, so you kind of got to be mindful yourself of the workers around you to make sure they're, a safe distance, and also make sure that you're putting this truck in a safe area too. These beds are very hard to get up in the air unless they're on a flat surface, and so you've got to watch when you're unloading your load as well. So we'll see what happens when we get up here to the job site. So we work a lot with pavement, and in the past I've worked a lot with concrete, so I've driven a lot of bigger trucks, and I've dealt with a lot of water trucks. You have to have those in every construction business. Semi 18-wheelers for hauling the pneumatic water and stuff like that. And so in town, it's not as dangerous as the turnpike work that we've done because a lot of it is parking lots and stuff. But again, it's just kind of getting into the job site. You got to remember, we're not driving on a paved, smooth road. Some of it is bumpy, needs to be graded, it hasn't been graded, those types of things. And you just have to go as slow as you can. And make sure, especially if you're the first truck onto the job site, because not always does this truck fit, in the places that they want us to dump in or things like that. There's always a safety cone casualty and stuff like that, sometimes, especially when people are in a hurry. Summertime, it gets 100 degrees weather and everybody wants to, get out of the heat, those types of things. So, everybody wants to rush, but we all got to keep in mind safety, always safety first. But it's just with, hundreds of moving pieces of equipment and hundreds of people walking around, and then, you're driving a stick shift, it's just not always ideal. So, we're working at Union School today, and I think we're just finishing off the parking lot. I've been up to the site one time, and I know that getting into the parking lot wasn't fun. It was just a small area we were working on. Hopefully, we've kind of gotten past all that. We've done the milling, and we've done the dirt work, and got some of it paved where we're doing a bigger area. We have double turn lanes like this always in a commercial vehicle. We try to take the second lane. I could have made the first lane in this truck, this little small 10-wheeler, but I just always try to take the second lane just in case I get some other vehicles, doing the turn at the same time. And as you can see, there's people all over the road, and you just never know if one of them's going to jump out in front of you. I've had people jump out and run out in front of this vehicle, and it is not like a car. You cannot just hit the brakes and expect to stop. So, that's why we're always going as slow as we are. That, and the fact that we can be overloaded. Some of these streets are pretty narrow. I think, I forget what actually the width is supposed to be on them, but some of the older streets just did the bare minimum of the width. So if you're, with this truck with the tar metal and stuff on the side of the truck going down those narrow lanes, you got to watch other traffic to make sure, they're plenty over in their lane and they're not trying to bump up next to you because they just expect that you're going to be, there watching them in their lane 100% of the time. So I've had that happen where a car has pulled up beside me, kind of still in their lane, but almost right on the line. person here. And so really the only thing you can do is just kind of search for a flagger. Some companies have them, some don't. Look for the orange cones. Sometimes there's an entry there. It looks like they've graded this entry way too far down. We're not going in that way. So I'm just going to take the lane that we have been taking in here and see if they redirect me to go in another way. And they may have me back this truck in. I think I see a guy walking up right now. That's usually when you get your instructions, is after you pulled into the entrance or onto the job site. And these trucks are not fun to turn in tight spots like this. We actually have to have our tack tires up so they don't pop off. A lot of different things. We have to watch these electric lines down through here because our tarp will catch on those, and then we're in a lot of trouble then. I actually have a truck right behind me. We don't know what we're doing, so I'm gonna sit here and see if somebody walks up to me. The truck's kind of pulling in some, so I guess he wants me to go. And that's something else too. You have to. Now the guy's telling us to back up. What does that mean? Oh, okay. So you see the guy sometimes if we're far away from him, you know, they try to give us hand signals. He wants me to back up. So here I pulled up because this driver wanted me to. He wants me to back up, Frank. And okay, so you have to worry about giving everybody hand signals. And then they change their mind sometimes too. You know, that's what I said about everybody being in a hurry. It would have been safer for me to turn around back where I was at. But now he's going to have me pull into an even tighter spot and make this turn. And then we'll just have to deal with it. So that's kind of our main concern right now. You know, we don't want to hop over any pavement or anything like that because we can damage the curb with the weight that's on this vehicle. So, but sometimes it turns out to be the easiest choice too, just depending. They just kind of watch how the first truck goes in. If there's no complications, they tend to kind of try to keep it consistent. Not all crews are like that. The backing up is about the hardest part of this job. Because, you know, you've got everybody behind you walking in and out, moving the equipment. Just go ahead and dump it. Just go ahead and lift it. So I actually have the easiest load this morning because I'm not. So I'm just going to dump my load right here beside them so that the skid can load the paver and they can kind of pave that corner. You can see this other truck in front of me. He's anxious to get his part done. He's backing in instead of giving me plenty of room to get out. But he should have just waited. Well, now he's pulling off. Looks like he may just be nowhere. But those are the things you gotta watch. You can't see it right now, but I've got my bed completely in the air. Always just have to pull forward. Make sure that our tail is off of the pile that we just unloaded onto the ground. And then go ahead and pull forward kind of out of everybody's way. This is a pretty tight spot, so I can't do that this morning. And then lift our bed a second time and empty what was left over from the job site material. This is where we kind of need a pretty level ground because we have to, some of these trucks aren't equipped with the equipment that shakes out the gravel and rock and stuff, and mine's actually broken. Sometimes you'll get a guy that will tell you everything looks good, so you can just go ahead and not have to pull forward and slam the bed. That lever always was me pulling forward. I just need a small one today. I also need to get out, put my hard hat on, and check the bed. But as you can see, traffic is probably trying to get in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull forward and check my bed way up here, so we can get everybody in and out. So just depending on how many hours we're up here today, we'll be doing these circles all day long. And you can see there's the third truck ahead of me. We all have CBs, and so we try to communicate that way. Mine was turned off this morning. No harm, no foul. There's only a few of us here. But that's pretty much it for this job here. Like I said, it's a little bit more complicated when dirt and a plow and stuff like that. You heard my CB kick in. But small parking lots like this, we don't have to concern ourselves with a whole lot. So I'm about to radio in so I can let everybody know. Yeah, they've got the paver just around the corner there, it looks like. And so the main thing I want to make sure before I pull off is my bed is completely down. The PTO is off. The stuff breaks if you drive it down the road. It has to be disengaged. And then also that your bed is completely shut. A lot of times you'll hear that banging down the road. If you have material still left in there that can fall out on a vehicle, so we always get out, we always clean our beds with every piece of material that we carry. And as long as I make sure everything's good with the bed and the truck, I can go ahead and pull out and go get the next round.